Just remember, FPL is tough, but you are tougher. Hi guys, I'm FPL Nympria and welcome back to the home of FPL videos. I'm so sorry I wasn't with you last week. I wasn't feeling my best. I had some health issues and some personal stuff going on with the loss. But I am back with you now and lots of exciting stuff going on with the double game weeks and people playing chips and all sorts. Because I missed it, let's take a quick look at how I got on in game week 24 and then straight on to how I'm getting on so far in game week 25. I had a cracking week in Double Game Week 24. I just missed out on the 100 club, mainly due to a few unfortunate injuries. Me picking up his concussion in the first match and Gundogan obviously tweaking his groin as my captain meant both were effectively single game weekers. Little bit annoying, but thankfully Gundog did his business in the first match anyways. As I said, as my captain, 2 goals and 1 assist, so happy days on that. I didn't bench boost in the end as the Dominic Calvert-Lewin injury meant I was a player short on my bench and I just didn't really want to risk it for the bench boost. I'd have been 12 points better off if I had have gone ahead with it. Not brilliant, not terrible either. So I ended up on 98 points all out and that pushed me all the way up to my highest OR of the season at around 635,000. Moving on to this week, there's still some games to go, but in order to get the video out for you guys, here's where I'm at currently. For the first time since getting Martinez, I benched him for Sanchez. Martinez got 2 points. As I'm filming this on Monday, I'll have to wait and see if Sanchez can do any better. Fingers crossed on that one. In defence, Mia's been a disappointment since I bought him for the double game week last game week, so it was nice to get a clean sheet from him this week despite his yellow card. I'll take the 5 points, but I still hate having him in my team. I really don't like owning him at all. Cancelo matched me with his clean sheet and yellow card for 5 points. I rolled my transfer in game week 24, so I had 2 free transfers to bring in double game week players for game week 25. Dallas was one of those transfers. He came in for Digne. Not ideal given Leeds were so bad against Wolves and Everton smashed it against Liverpool, so of course Digne got his clean sheet. But there we are. Funny old season, you just can't seem to judge it at the moment. Dallas has another chance on Tuesday for some points, but you know my luck guys, in the last game of the game week it doesn't look great for points there. My midfield has been a mixed bag this game week. Rafinha came in as my second transfer of the game week for Soucek. That was a small upgrade. Raf didn't score in the first match but did nab 2 bonus points for 4 points towards my team total. Hopefully he can add a little more in that second match. I did consider him as captain over Bamford. Just the percentage owned and the percentage captain scared me too much, so I was put off. Bruno smashed it out the park, as we all knew that he would, being a single game week player, a goal and an assist for 12 points as my vice captain. Salah continues to be a bit confusing to own right now for us FPL managers. A lot of money tied up in this kind of drip feed of points, so some serious consideration needed for him. Gundogan was back from injury, but there was only 1 return for City against Arsenal, and unfortunately it wasn't the Gundog. Just 3 points from him. Sonny has been somewhat of a letdown for a number of weeks now. 1 goal and 1 assist in 8 game weeks is not ideal for his price. Great double coming up, but I'm struggling to know if he's worth the money currently. Big headache on Spurs assets. Just 2 points from him. Let me know what you think about them in the comments below. Moving to my forwards, I decided to be brave and play Dominic Calvert-Lewin after the press was revealing he was fit again. Unfortunately, he didn't start, which wasn't ideal, but he did come on and did go down for a penalty, a bit of a controversial one. I'll just say I'm grateful for the 4 points and move on, I think. Let's not get caught up in that one. Bamford was my captain this week, as I said earlier on. Blanked in the first match, and so we wait to see if he can deliver in the second. As we know, my players usually blank in the final game of the game week, so I'm not sure why I captained Bamford, to be honest. Probably the double game week swayed me. I'll need some serious luck to break that juju, I think. That means my 3 top scorers for game week 25 at the time of recording this are brilliant Bruno Fernandes, can't wait to sell Mr. Me, and Cancelo. With all of that, I'm on 43 points at the time of recording this with a few players and my captain to go. That's currently a big red arrow for me, unfortunately. Not sure how I'll turn this into a green arrow, to be honest. A lot of the players I'm own and have yet to play are highly owned and highly covered by people, so it's not looking great for this game week. I could have done a little better yet again. Benching points seems to have become a bit of a habit for me. A strong bench is of course helpful, but not so great when you get the lineups wrong like I have been doing recently. Antonio sat first on my bench with 7 points isn't fabulous, and Stones of course with his clean sheet second on my bench. Antonio, Gundogan and Calvert-Lewin were all flagged, so it was really difficult to know which one to drop this game week, as I wasn't likely to drop Salah or Son, even though in hindsight I should have done. Looking ahead to the big double game week 26, I've got a head scratcher here. Initially my plan was to hold my wild card until around game week 30 with some hits for double game week 26 and some planning for the blank. With this route, I'd be considering my triple captainship in 26. It's Spurs' somewhat disappointing performance at West Ham and Leicester's good performance at Aston Villa that has me reconsidering whether or not I should be wildcarding. All of my hits were centred around getting Kane into my team and triple captaining him. He will likely be highly owned and highly captained going into this game week, but I'm unsure about using the triple captain on him currently, given how poor he looked in that last match. Getting in Harry Kane could be done in a couple of routes, with Dallas to Strujic and Antonio to Kane in a -4 move, or Rafinha to Reed and Antonio to Kane in another -4, or -8 to get me out and Sufal out for a double game week player, defender, maybe Anya, and a cheap blank bencher, and then of course Antonio to Kane. But can I ignore Leicester at the moment? That is the real question. I don't think that I can. If I was to wildcard, it could look something like this. Obviously, I have to bear in mind that I wouldn't be getting 11 game week players for game week 29. You know, I wasn't going to get that anyway. It's not the best game week, so I'm happy to go with 7 or 8 players in that game week if need be. If I wildcard, the big question is, do I get Kane? I mean, Spurs haven't looked fantastic recently, and Son and Kane's returns have dropped off somewhat. So if I get Kane, do I sell Son? Or maybe I should sell Salah? Either way, if I wildcard, I have to free up some space for Leicester somewhere in my team, because at the moment I don't see where I fit them in, except maybe just doing Rafinha to Barnes. Now my biggest issue is that I still have my triple captainship left. And there aren't many double game week opportunities coming up that I think, wow, that person really looks amazing to use my triple captainship on. So I'm really considering whether or not I should be triple captain in this week rather than wildcarding. A lot of the wildcards I've seen maybe about 4, maybe 5 players off what my team is right now. And if I make a hit, I can scratch that down to about 2 players off of a wildcard. So I'm really wondering whether or not I should be using that chip. Will I really be utilising it to the best of its ability? And so then that brings me on to whether I should be using my triple captainship instead. So my captaincy is a lot tougher than it initially looked. If I get Kane, he is always a consideration, but I'm now very tempted by Dominic Calvert-Lewin with those 2 amazing fixtures, and of course Bruno with just his amazing consistency. It would likely be one of those 2 for the consideration of the triple captainship. Obviously, that's quite a big shout on Dominic Calvert-Lewin. It's definitely going against the crowd and would be a massive call. Bruno, possibly not so much, because I feel like he will be captained by a fair majority that don't own Kane anyway. So this is a big decision, and one that I'll need to make closer to the time based on my transfers or whether I wildcard. It's on Calvert-Lewin currently. Let's see if I have the cojones to stick with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Obviously, I love to hear from you, Nim fans. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think I should do, whether I should wildcard or use the triple captainship this week. And lastly, moving on to the trending transfers this week, let's take a look at the players in and out ahead of Double Game Week 26. Of the goalkeepers, Martinez is the trendiest goalkeeper in with 28,000+ purchases at the time of recording. Edison is the next highest goalkeeper in with over 12,000 buys. Pope is the most transferred out goalkeeper ahead of Game Week 26 with 16,000+ sales. The next highest out is McCarthy with 13,000+ managers getting rid of the Saints goalkeeper. Of the defenders, the injured Justin is leading the way out with 61,000+ sales. The second most sold this week is Chilwell with over 41,000 managers selling on the Chelsea man. Target is the trendiest defender in with 46,000+ purchases. Cancelo is the second most bought defender with over 38,000 buys. In midfield, Barnes is the trendiest midfielder in this week after his haul in Game Week 25, resulting in 93,000+ buys. Maddison is the second most transferred in with over 39,000 buys. Grealish is the most switched out midfielder this week due to injury with 68,000+ sales. Salah is the next highest midfielder sold this week with over 37,000 sales. Up front, Bamford is the trendiest forward out this week with 77,000+ managers moving on the Leeds man. Ings is the second most sold forward this week with over 64,000 sales. Calvert-Lewin is the front runner in the forwards category this week with over 88,000 purchases. Kane is back and is the second most bought forward ahead of Game Week 26 with 81,000+ buys. That's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Lots of luck for Double Game Week 26. Please don't forget to check out the sponsors of this video, fantasyfootballfix.com. Thanks for all of your love and support on social media. It hasn't gone unnoticed. I love you guys so much, Nim fam. You're always there for me and I'm forever grateful for that. And just a shout out to the gifters of my league prizes, again in Veil watches and holo gear. As we get to the tighter end of the season and crowning a winner, it's important that you make sure you go check them out. They are really amazing for gifting up the prizes for this league. Before you go, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Until next time, Nimfria out.